Good afternoon. Today we are going to be talking about geometry, parallel and intersecting lines, as well as angles. So if you're following along, this is page 6. Top left-hand corner, it says geometry. Top right-hand corner, parallel and intersecting lines and angles. So I'm going to start with my helpful hints before I go into any numbers on these worksheets, as these will help us and let us know, give us like a brief intro into what we're going to be learning. So we have our first geometric term, which is parallel lines. So parallel lines, here's what they look like. Same length, right above each other, they're parallel. Next ones are intersecting lines. When you talk about intersecting lines, it just means they're crossing. So like an intersection. Think about that when you're driving. Intersection, intersecting lines, they cross. Perpendicular lines, so it just looks like a cross here. You have up and down and across, so perpendicular lines. And where they're getting these is they're looking at this figure right here. So when you're looking at this figure, that's what you're going to use to answer these questions, is this figure over here to the left-hand side of the paper. And then the last thing they have for the helpful hints is the angle. So you're going to look for the vertex, which is this little point right here. When it talks about the vertex, it says when naming an angle, the vertex is always in the center. So if you look over here, how to write it is angle DAC, and their vertex is in the middle. So D, second letter is the vertex, AC. The next one they have is angle CAD. They just wrote it backwards, but again, A is in the middle. And then they're looking at angle A here. That means it's the vertex. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into S1. I'm gonna put S1 on my whiteboard here. S1 is asking us to name two parallel lines. And if I'm not sure what parallel lines mean, I'm gonna go back up here into my helpful hints. And I say, oh, okay, it just means that they're across from each other. So what I see, I'm gonna use this figure over here. I see D and K is a line, and it is parallel with E and J. So how I'm gonna write that is D, K, the line over top of it, comma to separate, and E, J, the line over top of it. That's the first one that I see. All right, I'm gonna skip the next one and go on to number 1. So I need 3 pairs of intersecting lines. If we're not sure what intersecting lines are, we can go back up here to our helpful hints, and I see intersecting lines, so just lines that cross. And I think of an intersection, so intersecting lines, they cross. So what I did was I drew a diagram that helps me. So I took it across here like this, and then I drew the line that crosses these lines. So I just kind of drew the diagram so that way it helps me to remember which ones are crossing. So it has letter C up here, and then we have B, which intersects with line KD, if you can see that. And then I have down here the letter H, and this end of the line was I. Draw my arrows so we know where they end. And this is intersecting with the line J, E. That just helps me to be able to break it down and be able to show exactly what I meant when I saw that these lines had been crossing the other lines. You do not have to do that. It just helps me to better understand it. So if you'd like to draw a diagram, absolutely, there's no problem with that. So number 3, this one is asking to name 3 angles that have B as their vertex. Remember, vertex is this point right here, and we're always going to write the vertex in the middle. So FBH is going to give us where the vertex is at. So we're looking at 3 angles that have B as their vertex. So letter B is right here. Letter B. So what I see is CBD, I'll put the angle sign in front of it. Angle CBD has B as their vertex. And how I got that was here's B, that's my vertex CBD. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.